A bill to disarm the IRS was submitted yesterday. Let's talk about that one. I want to thank the sponsor of the video, and that's CMMG. Guys and gals, I cannot link to them because they sell items that are constitutionally allowed, tools that we would love, and I want to let you know that they're having a sale right now on some of those tools, but they make really cool items, different colors. Some are long, some are short. You get the picture. Some have bigger bores, some don't. CMMG, guys and gals, made right here in America. And if you use code GNG10, you can save a ton of money at CMMG. I drank the Kool-Aid. Did you? Let me know in the comments down below. They make great, great stuff. All right, before I jump into this bill to disarm the IRS, I want to do a quick update for people who have been asking these questions about who were the people, who were the RINOs who voted against House Joint Resolution 44 last night, who were the Democrats that voted in favor of stopping the ATF, parted with the party, and who are the Republicans who didn't vote, which is the same as voting against it. I think we should put pressure on these clowns and remember their names because they obviously don't care about your Second Amendment or my Second Amendment. So the two Republicans that voted no were Brian Fitzpatrick, Republican from New York, and Tom Keene Jr., who's a Republican from New Jersey. So those two RINOs voted against the effort to overturn the ATF's pistol brace rule. The two Democrats who voted in favor of overturning or stopping the ATF, saying that they don't have the ability to make law, were Mary Peltola, Democrat from Alaska, and Jared Golden, Democrat from Maine. So thank you to them for parting ways with their party and supporting the Second Amendment. Now, the three Republican RINOs who did not vote because they had, I guess, better things to do than to support and defend the Constitution, Brian D'Esposito, Republican from New York, Brad Finstad, Republican from Minnesota. Interesting, he was a no vote or a non-vote, and he's a co-sponsor of House Joint Resolution 44. That's interesting. We're going to learn more information on that hopefully today. And then Mike Turner from Ohio, another Republican who just decided failed to vote on this. I don't know if these gentlemen were sick, ill, or whatever, but I think their constituents, if that's you, need to find out why they were a non-vote on such an important resolution. So that's them. All right, let's get into this bill that was submitted by Senator Joni Ernst from Iowa, and the title of this bill is good. It says, the title is, "Why Does the IRS Have Guns Act?" And her bill looks to ban, prohibit, bar the IRS from using taxpayer money to buy ammo, weapons, and the like. And it's pretty good. And under her bill, they would have a certain amount of time to get rid of all of the inventory they have, and they have quite a bit of inventory. In fact, I did a whole video on, is the IRS like a small military unit now? I'll link that above. The answer is yes. And I also want to remind you all about this. This was the IRS's job posting looking for agents in all states, and they had to have been willing to use deadly force to collect your taxes, to take money, to steal money from Americans. Otherwise, why would you need guns if you're going to collect a tax, right? Unless you want to steal it from them by force. And I also want to remind you that Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act gave $80 billion with a B, $80 billion to the IRS to beef up their employee numbers over a 10-year period. Here's the press release that was released yesterday while I was covering the vote on House Joint Resolution 44. It says, Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa is leading the charge to end the Internal Revenue Service's waste of taxpayer dollars to arm its agents. The IRS has spent $35.2 million on guns, ammunition, and military-style equipment since 2006, including $10 million in weaponry and gear purchased since 2020. These purchases are used by the IRS's Criminal Investigation Division that has jurisdiction over federal tax crimes. Senator Ernst said, "The taxman is fully loaded at the expense of the taxpayer. as the Biden administration has worked to expand the size of the IRS, any further weaponization of this federal agency against hardworking Americans and small businesses is a grave concern. I am working to disarm the IRS and return these dollars to address reckless spending in Washington. Now, Adam Andrzejewicz, the founder and CEO of Open the Books, which is phenomenal, you should check that out. He said, the IRS isn't going to war, so just who are they preparing to battle? Our Open the Books auditors found the IRS spent millions of tax dollars on AR-15 style rifles, semi-automatic shotguns, and even purchased submachine guns while stockpiling 5 million rounds of ammunition in their gun locker. The IRS special agent is starting to look less like a desk worker or rulemaker and more like a SWAT team from a Hollywood thriller. It's the blurring of the lines between a tax agency and traditional law enforcement. And then, why does the IRS have Guns Act would prohibit the IRS from buying, receiving, or storing guns and ammo, transfer all guns and ammo currently in the IRS possession to the General Services Administration, auction off these guns and ammo to FFLs, and devote proceeds to deficit reduction, and would relocate, like I said, the IRS Criminal Investigation Division within the Justice Department. So I love this bill. Will it pass the Senate? Don't know. Will it pass the House? If it gets to it, it would have to pass the Senate first, because that's where it's submitted. Probably would pass the House. Would Joe Biden sign it? Absolutely not. He just gave them $80 billion to grow and become this SWAT entity, to steal people's money so that he can spend more and just keep, every day you wake up, guys, look at the headlines. Another $8 billion going over to fund a war across the globe. It is what it is. But that is a great bill that was filed yesterday by Senator Ernst. Let me know what you think about this bill in the comment section below. Did you watch yesterday's vote with House Joint Resolution 44? And if these clowns that I mentioned that voted no, that are Republicans or didn't vote, are yours, reach out and talk to them. 202-224-3121. And if those Democrats are yours that voted in favor of stopping the ATF, let them know they did good as well. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you all way more than you know. Until we see each other again, have a fantastic day. And if you're into the Second Amendment, whether it's legislation or litigation or anything in between, Guns and Gadgets will bring it to you. So subscribe down below to stay in the know. Take care.